This is Jeff Haynes, editor on the IGN PlayStation team, and this is the video review of Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. I hit most of the bullet points of Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence in the IGN weekly piece that we did on last Friday, so if you're interested in that, check out episode 2 for a basic breakdown of everything that's included in this package. But what I really wanted to do in this feature is highlight 4 of the very key points of what makes Subsistence such a great title. The first one is essentially looking at the redone camera angles that you'll find on Disc 1, which is Subsistence itself, or the reimagining of Snake Eater with a completely brand new third-person perspective camera. Everybody that played the original Snake Eater really hated the top-down perspective. Sure, you could move the camera here or there, but it really didn't help as far as the tactical espionage action game that Snake Eater was supposed to be. The third-person perspective really rectifies this, allowing you to pan, tilt, and rotate the camera in 360 degrees so that you get a full perspective of what is going on around Snake at any point in time. Sure, you can toggle back and forth between the quote-unquote normal top-down isometric view and the third-person perspective, while still using the first-person view for sniping or shooting or basically getting an idea of what is directly in front of you. But the third-person view really redoes the entire Snake Eater experience. In effect, you're playing a brand new game with a completely new camera angle that really does wonders for the gameplay.
Who's that?
The second disc, which, as I stated in the weekly piece, has the meat of the game itself, basically packages up to 3.5 extra games. Sure, you're getting Metal Gear 2, but you're also getting a half a mini-game in the duel mode, which lets you take on any one of the bosses at any point in time throughout the entire experience, or some of the guards and some of the other action sequences from the game. So you're really getting more of an action feel for the game, wrapped up in a little bonus package. The online play, however, is really where you're going to spend most of your time with Subsistence. There's a wealth of options here. You can isolate close quarters combat weapons only, you can eliminate certain primary weapons, you can even add in features that only enemies had in the game. The flamethrower, I must admit, is a very, very nice choice when you're online. The last thing that I really wanted to talk about is kind of the debate that's been ravaging the boards and the internet as well as some stores as to whether or not the limited edition or the regular edition is worth it. The 3.5-hour movie that Kojima edited is really a great addition, and it really adds in a lot of nice features to tie together the saga of the Snake Eater story. However, some of the ways in which it was done really kind of make the experience a little disjointed.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
There's a brand new narration scheme which ties together certain loose ends but also kind of leaves a lot of them unsettled, especially because the person that's doing the narration has kind of this omniscient perspective and is completely unrelated to the Snake Eater universe. As a matter of fact, he's not even a character that's ever been introduced at all, so you really don't know who this person is or how he knows so much. The flashback sequences that Kojima has put in and some of the other camera angles that he's chosen are nice, but they don't necessarily give you a lot that you couldn't find with the original game. And finally, some of the gameplay footage that is used or cobbled together to be a bridge between the naturally occurring cinematics and cutscenes and the sections where there actually were no cutscenes available, there were actually fights or there were action sequences, really suffer from low-quality degradation, pixelation, a couple of artifacts, and you can really tell the loss of quality in those. However, it is really nice to get an entire sense of what the flow is for the story. Now, If you happen to get the limited edition, you're perfectly set, and there is something to enjoy. However, if you don't, you only have the quote-unquote normal version, you shouldn't worry, because the demo theater essentially gives you everything that you would need for the movie itself, but you can play every single cutscene in any sequence that you want. Either you can select them individually, you can play them by section, or if you're so inclined, you can play every single cutscene from start to finish, including all of the smaller branching off sections that you wouldn't necessarily get if you played through the game normally. Those are some of the key points that I really wanted to address, and some of the things that you might not have necessarily gotten a full sense of, either with the previous video piece or potentially even the review. There are a lot of things within Subsistence that really make Snake Eater what the game should have been when it was released about a year and a half ago, and it really actually updates it to the point where we're considering it to be an early contender for the Game of the Year. I gave it a 9.8 primarily because it seems like it's worth it. This is the experience that Kojima really wanted to deliver, and for the most part, he got it exactly right for every single fan of Snake and the Metal Gear franchise. Check it out.